OEM block. This is going to be one of our standard 3.8 liter stage 1 builds. The way this one differs from, say, a VR30 block that we did before is this one is a closed deck from the factory, so you don't see those big circles around the cylinders where you have little ports where the coolant's going to run through. These are cast aluminum blocks. They have a coating on the inside instead of like a ductile iron sleeve or something like that. It's actually a nickel steel coating where the cylinder runs in. And then on the bottom side we have a one-piece girdle. This one was fitted with an ARP main stud kit that we put in, and then factory machine to get everything in tolerance. We usually start by washing them. This one is already washed. Went through everything, checked through the cylinders. What we're going to do now is take the girdle piece off and then measure for main bearing clearances.
Like he was saying, yeah, a lot of cars, so like this would be one cap for the crank and that would be its own piece, but all of these, including this whole top piece, you can kind of see where it splits right here. This is all one casted piece.
They also have steel inserts right here that go in the aluminum girdle.
Oh, okay.
Without those, under pressure while the engine's rotating, you'd probably get the aluminum warping up and down.
Yeah.
So with those steel inserts, you won't get that. Yeah. And then we offer this too. So on our website, you can go on and buy
this actual kit.
ARP stud kit.
Okay. Just so you guys know that, if you want to pick this up, if you got a GTR yourself and you want to get one of these stud kits, go to amsperformance.com.
Yep.
And you can go ahead and pick these up. So right there, you just put in the oil squirters.
Yeah.
So these oil squirters basically will shoot up oil onto the bottom of the piston, help keep the cylinder walls nice and lubricated.
Yep.
So there we go. So they've got a whole book full of all the torque specs.
Whole book, got it labeled, everything. So.
And are these upgraded bearings or aftermarket?
Yeah, so these are going to be King bearings.
King bearings.
King Racing. Coated bearings. So very high quality stuff. This is kind of a set that I use over and over to just get a baseline of where I'm at with the bearings.
Gotcha.
Then from this measurement, I can go on and adjust and figure out what bearings I want to use.
Remember, AMS always using genuine Nissan parts when needed.
There we go.
Look at that. It's a fresh crank from the factory?
Yep, brand new.
Brand new.
We send it down to a local machine shop to get everything balanced. There's like a balance card showing you like the weights, final spins.
Gotcha.
Sometimes they'll add weight depending on the application, but balance is going to be drilling holes and counterweights. So that's what we shoot for, right around like 30 thou. And that is right on 30 thou.
So that, oh, that makes sense. That's why this is so long, so you could go from one to the other, go all the way through. Okay. But now, so you said that these bearings that you have in here, you use these basically for each motor.
Yeah, until something like this happens where they work, and then I'm gonna use these bearings. Here we're gonna measure the thrust of the crank, so movement forward and backwards. It's already pushed this way, so zero it out as much as it can going this way.
Gotcha. Then you're gonna push
this way,
it back.
right around 5.5. So it's in spec, so we're good.
So there is allowed a little bit of movement, front to back.
The crank is final installed. Next would be rod bearing clearances and piston rings.
Awesome. Let's get to it.
It's just like a fancy tool that we made on the lathe to make sure the ring is set evenly in the bore.
It's not leaning too far.
Yeah. So we can get a proper measurement on the gap.
So I kind of saw you like you pushed it in and you reached down and pulled it up.
Yeah.
So it's flat with that piece. Gotcha. Smart.
Yep.
And then now you're taking your measurement with your
feeler gauges
right?
Right in that little gap there.
Right. See the focus on that right in that gap right there. So then if that is off, that's when you use
then you file it. Usually they're pretty tight from the manufacturer. And we open them up a little bit. Basically what we did after we measured all of our clearances for bearings and rings, we assembled the pistons onto the rods, pre-oiled them, and set them in the block for final assembly. So we just do that one by one. After each piston and rod goes in, rotate the motor over a few times, make sure there's no weird noises, make sure nothing's getting caught up, and just make sure everything's operating properly.
Cool. Everything's good with this one?
Yep, so this one's all good.
So next thing will be, was that the head?
Yeah, so I'll get this on a stand, we'll move it over to this side, and get this thing prepped for heads, get the head gaskets on, and torque the heads down.
All right, let's do it.
Cool.
So what we got going out the heads here though? Anything upgraded or just stock?
And the heads on this one, it's just going to be OEM valves. We have upgraded valve train a little bit. Springs are going to be a Freya single valve spring kit, so it comes with like locks, retainers, seats, all that stuff. So
that helps basically with what, like higher RPM? Or
yeah, higher RPM. We're going to throw cams in here, our Alpha Spec cams.
Okay.
So the springs kind of pair with that.
That's something you need, right, when you go with an aggressive cam?
Yeah, when you go with a bigger cam, you don't want valves to be floating, so you want a stronger spring. Jesus.
All right, so we got the heads on now. Everything is torqued, bolted in, ready to go. What do we got next?
From here, we are going to do a quick leak down test on all the cylinders, just to make sure the valves are seating properly. Nothing's getting too weird. Piston rings are somewhat seated. They're obviously not broken in yet, so they're not going to be fully seated, but we will be able to see any issues in a leak down test. After that, we'll be doing a coolant pressure test. We're blocking off water pump, thermostat, all those spots where coolant could leak out from, and checking to make sure the head gasket is properly sealed, where we'll put a certain amount of pressure through the whole system for about an hour and make sure that no pressure is leaked out.
That's a long test.
Yes.
For an hour. Good.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're just doing what, cams and...
Yeah, finishing up assembly, putting cams in, covers, valley covers, timing it, and then shipping it out. This is for the coolant pressure test. Like I said, just block off plates for anywhere that coolant goes through. So we can pressurize the block and ensure head gaskets don't have any leak or anywhere else in the block.
And you said this is the one you're doing for an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. And you should see, in the perfect world, no pressure drop?
Yeah.
So you set it to 40, and then now you wait.
Yep.
1 hour.
Just watch it the whole time. I'm just kidding.
All right. So what is it that you guys actually like make, kind of stuff that you guys have engineered? So you have obviously like alpha cam series. So these are cams that you guys designed, right?
Yeah, we helped develop in a lot of parts for these. In this crate motor, we developed or helped develop camshafts, main studs, machining of the block, like what specs we machined to, pistons, they're AMS spec pistons, custom machining of the heads, and yeah. Doesn't seem like a lot, but there is quite a few parts that go in here that we have, dipped our hand in.
Well, that's the cool thing is there's a lot of shops they'll just take stuff off the shelf and make it work, but you guys are actually doing R&D and like making your own parts that work for your power levels and stuff, which I think is awesome. Yeah. That's the one cool thing about AMS compared to a lot of other shops is they actually put the time, the research into what it is that they're creating. But you're pushing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 horsepower in your build, so you almost got to do that, because there's probably a lot of stuff that isn't made that you guys need to reach those levels.
Yeah, a lot of times we find the failure point, figure out why it failed, and then figure out how to fix it. And then once you get to that point, you start developing your own parts that are going to work.
A lot of blown motors, but in the end, it's all worth it. Beautiful. Look at that, that's crazy. So that's where the oil goes in the cans. You guys didn't know. Well, it was quite the process, but the cams are finally in.
Yep.
Fantastic work. Everything is shimmed. Tolerances are perfect. It's on to the next step.
back after that.
It's official. Built by Joe.
Alright, this was the process for building a VR38, the R35 GTR engine. We offer this in no core builds, where you can just order it without sending a core in, or you can send a core, and there's many different options, from 3.8 to a 4.3 to a billet block, a full race motor. So, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.
Hey guys, Vanetti with AMS again. I just wanted to say thank you for watching our new series of vlogs that are coming out every Monday. In today's, we got to witness Joe do an amazing job putting together a VR38 motor. So it was pretty interesting seeing how everything gets put together, and also the time and the technical knowledge that goes into building these motors that are capable of 1 to even 3,000 horsepower. In next week's video, we will be doing an employee build series, because a lot of them drive some pretty nasty cars. So we're actually going to be heading up north past Rockford to go to a drift event for our next video. So we'll see you guys there next Monday.